From our studios at historic Arnold's Park Amusement Park, it's Okoboji Broadcast with Jeff Thee. Welcome to Okoboji Broadcast, everybody, coming to you from Lakes Regional Healthcare, right here in Spirit Lake, our wonderful hospital. With me today is Elisabeth Bauman. She is the public health educator here at the hospital. And Elisabeth, welcome. Thank you for being here with me.
Thank you for having me.
You are no stranger to the Iowa Great Lakes at all, are you?
No, I'm not. I actually have family here. My grandma lives up on Big Spirit, so I'm a little familiar to the area, and I went to school here my sophomore year in high school. And I returned a couple years ago.
Yeah, isn't that wonderful? You got to come back here to this beautiful area, and married now, and so you got a family business here as well. So it's just like you got deep roots here already.
Right. Yeah.
And it turns out that Elisabeth, I didn't realize this. Your sophomore year went to high school with my daughter Reagan.
That's right.
So yeah, so we've got all these connections going on here. But Elisabeth, first of all, and we're going to get into what a public health educator does. But besides going your sophomore year here to Spirit Lake and your family, a little bit about your background and then your education for what you're doing now.
Okay. Born and raised in Germany, just outside of Berlin. That's where I went to school mostly, except for that 1 year. And after I returned to Germany, after my sophomore year, I went to college in a mid-sized city just outside of Berlin.
Okay.
I studied health promotion and management, got my bachelor's degree there, and then I moved over here. So that's my background.
Now, when you were there and you were thinking, when I begin my profession, I wouldn't mind being back in where that little lake was in Iowa in the United States?
Well, when I finished college, I didn't even think about coming back or going back into that profession.
Yeah, okay.
So when my parents decided to have the business here, I was like, well, why not? Why not come back here? And so I've been working there, of course. Yeah. And then I saw the opening for this position. I was like, reading through it, I thought, maybe I should go back into it.
That's me.
Yeah, that's me.
They're talking about me.
Yes. Well, pretty much, really.
Yeah.
It was everything I had in college, all my classes, so I thought, I'll give it a shot.
Well, very good. And now you're a couple months into it, and are you enjoying it all right?
I am. It's nice, and I have nice coworkers. Yeah. It's a nice place to work.
Very good. Mm-hmm. Well, let's talk a little bit about what a public health educator does.
Okay. So I am responsible for 2 projects as of right now.
Okay.
That is one tobacco grant project. This is for tobacco use prevention and control at the Iowa Department of Public Health.
Okay.
And the other grant is actually an opioid grant. So we work together with law enforcement, EMS services, and also fire departments on training them how to use Narcan for use of an opioid overdose.
Okay, to give to a patient if they've overdosed. Yes, right. Okay. Right. 2 wide-ranging. First of all, when you talk about, and both kind of, you could call them epidemics of a sort: smoking, vaping, widespread. Not what it used to be decades ago, but still a lot of people doing it. And of course, opioids. Before we were thinking pandemic, that was in the front part of our brains, at that time. Well, let's talk about what you're doing for education of, tobacco. I think most people know the downfalls, the side effects, and all those things of tobacco and tar and all those things, what they can do to your lungs and every other part of your body. But vaping has become such an issue, and not just with people who are of legal age to obtain them. Young people are really into the vaping thing.
Right. So a couple years ago, the Surgeon General actually declared it as an epidemic for teens and youth in the United States.
Right.
Actually, if you look at the numbers, compared to 2 years ago, the numbers have gone down, but it's still 3.6 million teens that vape in the United States.
And it does amaze me a little bit that it went down, in the fact that people were housed up in their homes and shut down, you would think that I need a release. But
right.
That's a good thing it went down.
Yes.
But still, 3.6 million. That's a lot.
Yeah. That's about 1 out of 5 high schoolers in Iowa. So what we do for that matter, or in that matter, is we would like to go into the schools and just educate the teens, or not just teens, but even younger kids too, maybe starting 5th grade, introducing them to the topic, introducing them to the health risks, and just, educating them so they know beforehand what they're getting into, or even might not.
Right, right. Well, and what are some of the downfalls? What are some of the things that we're finding with vaping that it does to your body, even a young, healthy body?
Yes. So we talked about this misperception that some teens think, well, it's just, just water vapor coming out of there. It's, it's not as bad as cigarettes.
Yeah, it's like steam. All I'm doing is steam. Yeah.
Right. But that's actually not the case. Leave aside the aerosol that comes out. There's also nicotine. In 99% of the cases of the vape devices, there's nicotine in there, and medical services and medical professionals, they've known that nicotine is not good for the brain, especially the developing brain, which that is until the age of 25.
Right.
So that makes the youth more susceptible to addiction.
Right.
So yeah, that's probably the biggest health risk. And for now, we don't know what vaping itself, what it entails and what all the health risks are. I mean, for cigarettes, it took decades to find out, all the effects it has on our bodies.
And, the vaping companies, Elisabeth, have done a wonderful job of packaging. They all look so cool on the store counters and everything, and all the different tasty flavors, fruit flavors, and I just know what I've seen, but makes it even more attractive to young people to grab.
Yeah, it does, especially when you see flavors like, fruity watermelon or cotton candy. Yeah, it attracts young people. And I know that politicians have talked about, banning fruit flavors and all that, but I believe it's work in progress and nothing final so far. So it'll keep attracting the young kids.
All right, Elisabeth, if, say, schools or maybe service groups or somebody would like to have education in school, I mean, I know we just got out of school, but it won't be long and we'll be starting again. If they'd like to set up a program to have you come in and talk to the kids, and it's nice you're a younger person, they may listen to you.
Yeah.
Old people, no, not so much. But if they'd like to contact you and have you come in and talk to school groups as a whole group, classrooms, whatever, how do they contact you?
Well, they can contact me here. Just call the Dickinson County Public Health Department. So I'm right here. Okay. And I'd be happy to come into schools. I'd be happy to talk to maybe just a handful of kids, or not a handful, but a course maybe. Not the whole school at once.
Right.
Yes, I'd be happy to do that. I'd be happy to talk to the kids about it. You said, yeah. So that'd be great if people could contact me.
Well, and they're only helping themselves for their future. When you talked about the young developing brain and developing until the age of 25, you got 12, 13, 14, there's 10, 12 years there of abusing something that is not going to allow your brain to develop the way it could. So,
yes.
Good time. All right. All right. Well, Elisabeth, I want to thank you for joining me here today. Thanks for coming and letting me come into the hospital. And I don't know my way around here anymore. I came in the doors by the emergency and I'm like, where am I? So they've done a great job here at Lakes Regional. So.
Yes, they have.
All right. And thank you for joining me too.
Thank you.
All right. Elisabeth Bauman here again. She's the public health educator at Lakes Regional Healthcare. And we want to thank her for joining us. Contact her for educating your kids, your group, about the downfalls of vaping. We thank you for watching us right here on Okoboji Broadcast. Okoboji Broadcast from the studios at historic Arnold's Park Amusement Park is brought to you in part by the headquarters of the University of Okoboji is at the Three Sons, open Monday through Saturday 10 to 5 and Sunday from 10 to 4.
the Scott Troutman State Farm Agency in Spirit Lake, Pure Fishing in Spirit Lake, Last Touch Painting and Cleaning, providing interior, exterior, house painting, and professional cleaning services in Spirit Lake. Quest Wealth Management, a financial advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, advisor Jan Spielman, AJ Spielman, and Erica Wachholz. Ducky's Marine and Motorsports Repair in Spirit Lake. Bank Midwest, dream big, plan wisely, live well. Lakes Regional Healthcare and Avera Partner. Ruthven Locker at the Lake, where carnivores are welcome on Hill Avenue in Spirit Lake. Beck Engineering in Spirit Lake. Be Radiant Laser Skin Studio in the Okoboji Plaza in Okoboji.